what learning these principles does for us, it corrects a misperception that pretty much everybody shares, and although it takes many forms, they're all variations of a basic theme. And that misperception is that that how we're feeling now is being created as a result of our circumstances, things that have happened to us in the past, things that we don't even remember, that are supposedly buried in our subconscious, that our happiness is somehow a result of how successful we are, or how much money we have in the bank, or that it has something to do with our physical appearance, or even our physical capacity in life, what we're capable of, what skills we have. All of these things that we habitually associate with our well-being, our internal well-being. The three principles shows us very clearly that that's just a misperception. It's an error. You could say it's what I would call a false association that we've all made, and we've been making it for so long in so many ways, and everybody else is making the same false association. The result of that is that it looks real, and it's, for many of us, it's difficult at first to really see that that could be untrue. We could have made a mistake now. But once the principles start to kind of slip in to our consciousness, they have the effect of awakening something in us which knows what's really going on. And I think that's why when people start to get a grasp of what these principles are about, it's usually described as a kind of a recognition, which is an interesting word in the English language. To recognize, to recognize. Re means again, as in remember, and cognition has to do with knowing. So it means to know again. Now that implies that you knew it already. And I think the principles are very much in that category. It's something that we already know because it's built into us, into the very fabric of who we are. And yet we can know something and somehow be blind to the fact that we know it. And the effect of that is, it's as if we didn't know it. So it's a bit like somebody stumbling through life with blindfold on, or wearing very dark glasses. Their experience of life would be very similar to that of a blind person, but they're not actually blind. And it wouldn't take much to one day wake up to the fact that actually there's just something covering my eyes. There's nothing wrong with my eyesight, my vision as such. And the moment that they took off the blindfold, they start to see. It wouldn't be anything they'd have to work on. A person who has been blind because their eyes were covered doesn't have to develop the faculty of vision, because there was nothing wrong with it in the first place. Now, to me, that's an analogy for what happens when people start to see what these principles are pointing to. They realize, I don't have to work on self-esteem because I already have it. I don't have to work on confidence because when I'm not putting thought in my own way, I'm naturally confident. I don't have to work on intuition because I have it already. I have that ability to just know what's right for me in any given moment, and also what isn't right for me. I don't have to work on my communication skills, because when I'm connected to the truth of who I am, I communicate clearly, like everybody does, like a 3-year-old does. A 3-year-old doesn't have to develop the self-esteem and the self-confidence to ask for what they want. They just say, give it to me. They just point at it and say, I want that. And everything that we've developed through our own thinking, it tends to act as a kind of barrier to us that prevents us from accessing that spontaneous way of being that we had as children. But it's only temporary, because the barrier consists of nothing but thought. There's nothing tangible, it's nothing substantial about it. So just like the taking off the blindfold, it doesn't take much, and you could say a little insight goes a long way.